Beyond the dazzling stage lights and the forgiving spotlight, an earth-shattering secret awaits. You might think an 8-foot hip or a 60-kilo bust is mere cinematic illusion or tabloid fodder. But behind these viral images lie true stories of extraordinary individuals battling fame's crushing pressure and public disgrace. Get ready to witness a reality stranger than fiction. Don't look away. Mikel Ruffinelli. Scroll through her social media, and you'll see a woman radiating confidence, flaunting her extraordinary 8-foot wide hips for millions of followers. She appears to be the ultimate icon of body positivity, living a life bathed in dazzling stage lights. But underneath that curated, picture-perfect feed lies a brutal reality. The internet transformed her physique into tabloid fodder, flooding her comments with toxic jokes about her husband suffocating. What fans don't witness is the raw agony of her daily existence, navigating a world built with invisible walls that refuse to accommodate her. A simple grocery trip becomes a public spectacle, an exhausting battle against tight aisles where every stare feels like an invisible punishment. The genesis of her condition, a massive caloric storm during pregnancy fueling her to consume 5,000 calories a day, became a merciless foe that reshaped her anatomy forever. Despite fame's crushing pressure, Mikel stubbornly maintains her dignity, laughing off the public disgrace. Yet, we must realize that audiences truly know nothing about their idols. The heaviest burdens are often carried in plain sight, mocking those who mistake physical limitation for weakness, much like a rapidly ticking biological clock that traps a towering spirit inside a fragile, decaying shell. Grand P. Musa Sandayana Kaba. Standing in the opulent banquet hall, I watched him make his entrance, dwarfed by a luxurious suit whose collar could swallow a helmet. The air shifted as everyone stared, unsure whether to marvel at his audacity or pity the wasting away frame ravaged by progeria. I saw his oversized jacket snag on chairs, threatening to drag him into public disgrace. But he merely laughed, turning the mishap into a masterclass of charm. The crowd's whispers tore into his tabloid fodder relationship with Udo Yao, framing it as a scandalous betrayal driven by money. Yet, standing mere feet away, I felt his unmatched confidence radiate, shattering the invisible walls of societal judgment. When the dazzling stage lights finally dim, what remains is not a fragile victim, but an undeniable icon. Still, the isolation of fighting an entire crowd single-handedly is completely upended when your very anatomy forces you to share every waking second, orchestrating a bizarre symphony of compromise just to eat a meal. Millie va Christine McCoy. They breathed their last breaths just 12 hours apart, their shared existence finally severed by the cold hands of mortality. Before the raw agony of their final moments and the inevitable wasting away of their dual form, they were a unified powerhouse on the entertainment circuit. Billed as the two-headed nightingale, they conquered the dazzling stage lights, blending two distinct minds into a singular, mesmerizing vocal harmony. But behind this golden illusion, their reality was an exhausting negotiation of basic autonomy. They lived trapped behind the invisible walls of zero privacy, where even a simple meal became a chaotic tug-of-war, Millie lifting a spoon for chocolate mousse while Christine aggressively dragged their shared torso down for spicy spaghetti. Though they mastered 5 languages and captivated global audiences, their ultimate survival strategy was learning to navigate public spaces without crashing into each other, all while enduring the invisible punishment of being gawked at like monsters in a horror film. Death brought the ultimate, solitary silence to a life defined by inescapable noise. The quiet tragedy of two minds sharing a single vessel morphs into a starkly different battle when a man is thrust into the world with only half a body, forced to violently carve his own space on a brutal combat mat. Zion Clark. The arena erupted as he executed a flawless spin attack, hurling his opponent out of the ring using sheer upper body strength. In that glorious moment under the dazzling stage lights, this legless wrestler from Columbus was hailed as an invincible powerhouse who conquered the world. But as the deafening cheers fade, the illusion shattered. Away from the forgiving spotlight, His daily life is a relentless battle against an invisible enemy, a world built for legs. Fame's crushing pressure couldn't save him from the public disgrace of a dropped grocery jar. Stripped of his lower body by a rare syndrome, he was forced to spin like a turntable in his wheelchair to reach a spilled item, becoming tabloid fodder for gawking bystanders who laughed at his predicament. He masked the raw agony of this invisible punishment with a resilient smile, waving at the crowd as his ultimate survival strategy. Does the roar of a championship crowd ever truly drown out the silent humiliation of navigating a world that refuses to accommodate your existence? Lacking limbs demands iron willpower, yet possessing an overwhelming physical abundance can seamlessly mutate a human body into a golden, suffocating cage. Annie Hawkins Turner, 60 kilograms, 1.4 meters in length, a Guinness World Record held since 1999. These cold statistics define her existence. As a 66-year-old woman from Atlanta, she capitalized on her anatomy, watching her bank account skyrocket past $1 million. But this financial triumph is a golden illusion. The staggering weight of her chest is a merciless foe, steadily crushing her spine and shoulders under a daily, unyielding pressure. At 9 years old, the numbers began to betray her, transforming her into a target for childhood cruelty and public disgrace. A single collapsed table at a birthday party etched the trauma deeply into her psyche. Today, the statistics of her physical decline are horrifying. Zero ability to sleep on her back, constant risk of falling downstairs, and severe skeletal deterioration. She refused reduction surgery, using her condition as a survival strategy to build a lucrative empire online. Yet, this wealth cannot buy her way out of the raw agony inflicted by her own body. What is the true cost of millions when your physical frame is an invisible punishment? A crippling physical burden monetized for survival stands in sharp contrast to a seemingly harmless facial feature that inexplicably ignites the dark, predatory corners of the internet. Chanel Tapper. It all began with a single tap on a smartphone, when she decided to post an Instagram video curling her 9.75 centimeter tongue. She unknowingly unleashed a silent predator. That harmless choice transformed a childhood difference, which once made her the victim of cruel snake jokes, into viral tabloid fodder. The dazzling stage lights of fame quickly revealed a dark underbelly. Her picture-perfect confidence was met with provocative, sexually charged comments from strange men, creating a toxic romance with public attention. This sudden drop into online harassment became an invisible punishment, as the internet weaponized her anatomy. Yet, Chanel refused to let this merciless foe win, firmly shutting down the disrespect. Her journey stands as a chilling reminder that one digital click can instantly shatter your peace. Fending off the predatory gaze of millions requires an armor of absolute defiance. Yet this psychological warfare feels completely different from the agonizing physical logistics of navigating reality when your own extremities turn into a paralyzing, heavy trap. Ayana Williams. I sit quietly in Ripley's Museum, a cold glass display case guarding the severed remnants of a 2-decade obsession. To the public, these 4.5 meters of keratin were a powerhouse achievement, cementing her 2018 Guinness World Record beneath the dazzling stage lights. But I hold the earth-shattering secret of her reality. I felt the raw agony of her daily existence, where every mundane action mutated into an invisible punishment. I witnessed the exhaustion as she maneuvered a credit card like a high-stakes game of Tetris, terrified of breaking her prized possessions. The illusion shattered completely behind closed doors, where simply pulling up her pants or navigating the toilet became a brutal, tangled battle against her own hands. Her record-breaking fame quickly became tabloid fodder, with strangers chuckling as her cumbersome fingers spilled coffee in public cafes. These nails were a merciless foe, building invisible walls that slowly consumed her freedom. By 2021, the crushing weight of this golden illusion forced her to surrender, cutting away her legacy to finally breathe. Now, they rest inside me, eternally silent. Relinquishing a cumbersome physical shield brings the quiet relief of a museum exhibit, Yet this static peace is impossible to achieve when the very feature making you an outcast is inextricably woven into the irises of your eyes. Jalissa Nightingale. The fashion industry is a ruthless machine, built upon rigid standards and racial prejudices that relentlessly crush the unfamiliar. Born in Barbados with a rare genetic gift of striking blue eyes from her father, Jalissa inherited not privilege, but a target. She grew up trapped behind the invisible walls of discrimination, her eyes branded as monstrous by neighborhood peers who threw insults like daggers. This constant public disgrace became an agonizing, invisible punishment. The cruelty of her childhood was merely a rehearsal for the brutal fashion world that later rejected her repeatedly at casting calls, proving that society often acts as a silent predator demanding conformity. Her ultimate survival strategy was pure defiance. She endured the fame's crushing pressure until a famous photographer finally pulled her into the dazzling stage lights, turning her strange difference into a high-fashion campaign. She overcame the fear of stigma to become an undeniable icon. Yet, the chilling hypocrisy of this system remains. It will mercilessly break a child for being unique, only to crown her a powerhouse when those exact differences can finally generate capital. Reaping the rewards of a genetic anomaly often forces one to endure immense societal friction, much like fighting an exhausting physical battle when a sacred, deeply personal crown of tradition slowly morphs into a heavy, suffocating hazard. Asha Zulu Mandela. Look closely at the glinting silver scissors offered by a panicked cafe employee, hovering dangerously close to her scalp. That tiny, sharp object represents an earth-shattering secret, the constant threat of losing a lifetime's identity in a mundane accident. Beyond the dazzling stage lights where she stands as an icon, her 33.5-meter dreadlocks act as a silent predator, an incredibly heavy burden pulling relentlessly at her roots. The golden illusion of her majestic mane masks an invisible punishment. Everyday life is fraught with bizarre physical traps. A walk downtown spirals into public disgrace when her hair violently snags on a coffee shop door, yanking her backward like a merciless foe. A sudden gust of wind morphs into an invisible enemy, hurling her locks into a passing bicycle, reducing her feature to tabloid fodder as a child mockingly calls it a huge rug. Despite her mother's early fear of stigma, Asha's survival strategy was unshakable humor, cleverly replying it was hair, not a doormat, while carefully untangling the mess. She turned this literal trap into a powerhouse hair brand. The scissors remained unused, confirming that true resilience is carrying your heaviest burdens. Yet, the physical entanglement of a towering mane is vastly different from a visual entrapment, where the very essence of your being is swallowed whole by the absence of light. Nayakim Gatwich. The deepest fear of any model is becoming invisible. For the Queen of Darkness, her pitch-black skin is a celebrated icon under the dazzling stage lights, but it also harbors a silent predator of literal disappearance. At a Tokyo event, this psychological ghost materialized when the room's lanterns extinguished. She stood frozen, completely vanishing into the void as the panicked crew searched blindly. The golden illusion shattered when a photographer jokingly called her a ninja, reducing her regal presence to tabloid fodder. On another set, against a black backdrop, she became entirely indistinguishable, forcing the production team to frantically flash lights from multiple angles to rescue her from visual oblivion. Though she masks this invisible punishment with a survival strategy of humor, joking she would win any hide-and-seek game, the mental exhaustion of constantly fighting to be seen is a merciless foe. The spirit inevitably fractures when forced to continuously prove its own existence in the shadows. Fading away into the darkness is a quiet, psychological battle. Being physically overpowered by a towering, oversized world, however, is a relentless, bone-crushing reality. Wildine Almoeth, 72 centimeters. This cold metric built invisible walls around her every ambition. As the world's shortest professional model, the dazzling stage lights constantly obscure the invisible punishment she faces daily. A basic studio entrance transformed into an exhausting barrier when her wheelchair jammed against a mundane doormat. high fashion morphed into a merciless foe, with oversized shoes and endlessly trailing fabrics drowning her tiny frame in a world of giants. Yet, her survival strategy is razor-sharp wit. She weaponizes her humor to shatter fame's crushing pressure, forcing rigid designers to adapt to her 72-centimeter reality. Overcoming a world built too large is a hard-won victory, contrasting fiercely with the claustrophobic agony of a colossal body violently compressed by a society constructed entirely too small. Suleimana Abdul Samd. I stood in the narrow restaurant hallway, watching a giant fold himself in half just to survive. At 7 feet 4 inches, Suleimana is an undeniable icon. Witnessing his reality, however, shatters the golden illusion of grandeur. I saw the raw agony on his face as his shoulders scraped the ceiling, his massive frame violently compressed into a tiny chair. The world acts as a merciless foe, turning basic architecture into an invisible punishment. In a cramped hotel, I watched him hunch entirely over, forced onto a small shower stool because the bathtub completely rejected his size. Beyond these spatial nightmares, a silent predator of chronic joint pain leaves him frequently immobile. He dreams of a surgical escape from this wasting away of his mobility, yet stubbornly clings to optimism. Watching a titan physically break himself to fit inside a miniature world leaves you absolutely breathless. The brutal friction of a massive body crashing against restrictive walls fades into a starkly different awe when observing an artist commanding the spotlight without any limbs at all. Prince Radian. A single, stubborn wooden pencil rolling across the floorboards holds an earth-shattering secret. To an ordinary person, it is a trivial object, but for the armless and legless worm man, it acted as a merciless foe. Radian stepped into New York's dazzling stage lights with an impossible goal, drawing with his lips. When the pencil repeatedly slipped away, it threatened to drag his highly anticipated performance into public disgrace. Instead of surrendering to this invisible punishment, he merely laughed, joking that the runaway tool was ruining his vibe. Stretching his neck in a fierce battle, he retrieved the graphite and crafted an undeniable masterpiece. He further shattered the golden illusion of physical limitation by flawlessly rolling a cigarette on stage using only his tongue. A caged spirit can truly master any void. Conquering a quiet stage with artistic finesse is a mesmerizing triumph, but surviving a violent home invasion in the dead of night demands an entirely different, terrifying explosion of raw defensive power. Willie Murphy. A single, quiet creak of a hinge sealed an intruder's dark fate. He believed his choice to break into an 82-year-old woman's home would be an easy victory against a fragile victim. Instead, that one fateful decision awakened a merciless foe. Willie was no ordinary grandmother. She was a bodybuilding powerhouse who had spent years forging her muscles in silence. The golden illusion of her vulnerability shattered instantly. She charged like a lion in the dark, pinning him to the ground and crushing his hand in an unbreakable vice until he begged for mercy. When the police arrived, they found the intruder unconscious, turning his disastrous mistake into legendary tabloid fodder. Her ultimate survival strategy wasn't fear, but unrelenting physical training. The terrifying fragility of a single bad choice is irreversible. Forging an impenetrable, rock-solid physical defense showcases human rigidity at its finest. Paradoxically, the true test of endurance emerges when the skeleton itself completely surrenders its structural integrity to become a fluid anomaly. Troy James. Hollywood routinely turns medical conditions into on-screen spectacles. Born with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, his hyper-flexible joints made him a malleable pawn under the dazzling stage lights. Dictated by fame's crushing pressure, a director demanded he contort through impossibly narrow window bars for a high-stakes stunt. This reckless pursuit of a golden illusion backfired when his body wedged completely stuck, triggering a frantic on-set rescue. Instead of prioritizing safety, the industry commodified this invisible punishment, rapidly rewriting the script to broadcast his claustrophobic struggle as an intentional trap. What is the true price of becoming an icon when your very skeleton is mercilessly monetized? Exploiting joint flexibility for profit is deeply disturbing, yet the entertainment value mutates into pure visceral shock when a fragile sensory organ is literally thrust out of its socket. Francisco Domingo Haycom. He stood victorious under the dazzling stage lights of national Italian television in 2011, crowned the ultimate powerhouse of the big mouth competition. He had just astonished the world by ruthlessly stuffing a massive 500mm soda can into his jaws, cementing his status as an undeniable icon. But behind this golden illusion of applause lies a bizarre reality measured in brutal statistics. With a mouth stretching an impossible 17 centimeters wide, he transformed his anatomical anomaly into lucrative tabloid fodder, drawing Guinness adjudicators all the way to his hometown in Angola to solidify his record. Yet, this extreme party trick is an invisible punishment, demanding he continuously push his flesh to the absolute limits to satisfy a gaping public hunger. What is the true value of fame when your entire legacy is defined by how wide you can stretch yourself open for entertainment? The curtain falls on these 17 extraordinary black individuals who turned their bizarre physical anomalies into unapologetic power. They survived fame's crushing pressure and the terrifying stares of the public to reclaim their own narratives. Which of these staggering stories shattered your reality the most? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated, because in our next video, we will expose even more famous black individuals with strange, unbelievable bodies. Don't wait, click and watch now.